Hi, my name is Josh Dawson, associate at Charlesgate Realty Group. I'm here with PT Vineburgh, founding partner of Charlesgate Realty Group, which recently celebrated its 10-year anniversary. Congratulations, PT.
Thanks, Josh.
We're here just to briefly chat to Boston area home buyers and sellers about kind of a market update. What's going on? Last week, the Fed announced some policy that could affect the Boston housing market, and in particular, they surprised Wall Street and investors by basically saying that they were going to continue the monetary stimulus for at least another month and possibly into early next year. PT, as an expert in the business, how do you see that news impacting Boston home buyers and sellers for coming into the fall and winter months?
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing for the market in general. I think the market is got some skewed fundamentals, so it's going to stay kind of abnormally strong as we've seen it over really the past 18 months. What this does is it's going to keep mortgage rates down. Not quite probably to the lowest levels they were at, but certainly back around 4%, which is still obviously exceptionally cheap in the grand scheme of mortgage rate history. I mean 3.5 is going to be long gone, but 4 certainly beats 5, and I think that this an extended stimulus is going to keep rates around 4. So a lot of buyers who maybe were vacillating again because rates had jumped are going to come back in the market, and inventory is still really tight, so it's really just going to do nothing but keep the market hyper competitive.
So you mentioned the low inventory, coupled with the low interest rates that you mentioned would probably be on the horizon for the near future. How do you see that maybe particularly benefiting somebody in Boston that's thinking about possibly listing their property right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's it's the most basic economic principle, right? It's supply and demand, and we just have a severely constrained supply. So if you have had any thoughts of selling your home, particularly with this recent news that we were just discussing, that's going to really keep a hyper level of activity on the buyer front. Compound that with, again, historically low inventory, it's a great time to potentially sell your unit. So, and for buyers, it's also a nice opportunity to lock in, exceptionally low interest rates and, get into the market now for the long haul. But, again, as a seller, it's really an opportune time to list.
Great. I mentioned before, Charlesgate Realty, 10 years in the business. As the founding partner of Charlesgate, what do you think has contributed to Charlesgate's success over that 10-year period? And how might a future home buyer or somebody that would be selling their home with Charlesgate, really benefit from those attributes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the biggest thing that's contributed to our growth and sustainability of being able to not only stay in business but grow over a decade is just the caliber of our people. We've always been very diligent about trying to bring on the best possible agents that we can, and we've tempered our growth. We didn't want to be that firm that had 50 agents, 40 of whom aren't doing any business. And so that's kind of the internal view. The external view, I think, is kind of really the root of our company, which is something we service marked 10 years ago when we started, which is ethics, relationships, results. And you've only got one name, one reputation, so you've got to conduct business ethically. I feel that we've been 10 years in business, never ended up in a courtroom. That's always a good sign. We've really done a real concerted job of not only doing business the right way, but using that as a springboard to generate more business. And I think we've done a nice job within the brokerage community too, and collaborating with our competitors, and making sure that again, doing business the right way will just kind of continue to help us grow. The relationships we've been able to establish with like our agents internally and our clients externally, and results, just getting it done, selling places faster for more money on the listing side, making buyers feel like they get a higher level of service on the buyer side, helping renters, helping people who need their property managed, and just doing things a little bit better, because at the end of the day, the only thing that differentiates these different companies out there, and there's a ton of us, is service level. So that's what we've stressed, and I think we've done a nice job of really kind of living up to that.
So if somebody were to want to really capitalize on the services here at Charlesgate, whether they're a buyer or a seller, How would they best go about getting a hold of you or a member of the team here to really sit down and have that consultation? And would it cost them any money?
Yeah, no, I mean, any of the consultations that we do are free of charge, and we want to make sure it's the right fit for somebody. So we get to understand their needs, they understand how we operate, and hopefully it's a fit. And if it's not, it's not. But more often than not, it is. And it's very simple. You call, email, cell phones, the office line, whatever. I mean, we really try to stress a near instant response. And obviously we're a local company, and most of the business we're going to do is local, so we're around all the time, and ready, willing, and able to meet with someone pretty much at the drop of a hat.
All right, thank you. And last question. Mayor Medina recently called for creating, by 2020 in the city of Boston, 30,000 new housing units. As an expert in the housing market here in Boston, and somebody who's lived in Boston for many years, what would you like to see Boston's market in terms of housing look like in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see an influx of that much inventory. I think it would help balance out the market a little bit. I think, housing costs here are in general too high. And, hopefully more inventory would help lower that. I want to see more housing, and have that lead to affordability. So, Massachusetts, particularly Boston, can help retain this younger talent that's been leaving the state because the cost of housing is so high compared to other areas. You'd like to see some neighborhoods just be able to expand a little bit and evolve. Like, the Seaport right now is, it's a great spot, but there's not a lot of housing there, considering, the perception of the neighborhood and the potential of the neighborhood. So, you'd love to see families stay in the city, and you'd love to see, more units built, so you can, basically accommodate more people, and then hopefully make it more affordable for everybody.
Great. Thanks a lot, PT.
Yeah, you bet, Josh. Thanks, man.